Today we're looking at the Commodore SX386. As you can see, there's the camera. It's quite a bulky thing. And the warranty seal's gone. So we won't be sending it back to Commodore. It's a little bit rickety. The modem seems to want to come out for some reason. Oh, it's a module. Oh, yeah, right, okay. The screw hole's broken. I wonder what modem that is. Smells old and like leaking capacitors. Can't get that back in now. But anyway, that's the 386. That's what we're going to look at. Sorry. Little boys and girls. So what delightful thing do we have here? Well, we have the Commodore C386 SXLT, and it is a 386 laptop made by Commodore. It was released in, as far as I'm aware, 1990. It's a 3.5-inch floppy disk drive, serial port, parallel port, plastic case, 5 megabytes of RAM, IDE hard drive, and came with Windows 3.1. Now, my 386 didn't come with a power pack, so I've had to hotwire one, which is this thing. It's got another little jack on there supplying 12 volts to the main power of the main board. It won't charge the battery because it's supposed to have I think it's a 16 volt charger for the battery, dual voltage, 16 and 12 or something like that. I'm not too concerned about the battery not charging, as I don't think I'll be going out and about with this thing. There's very little information I can find about this machine. I don't know if it's a European machine, but anyway. But it was released in 1990. And it's quite dreadful. Not sure if you can see that. I'll zoom into the screen, so please excuse me wobbling about. Now it has an active matrix screen, I think they're called. I haven't seen one of these in a lot of years. I think you can see that, can you? Commodore C386 SXLT, BIOS version 1.3. It's a Phoenix BIOS. Phoenix ROM BIOS, copyright award 8488. I think Phoenix bought a Ward, didn't they, the BIOS company, in the very early 90s. It might have been 1990. But they still sold the BIOSes as a Ward, I think. My memory's a little bit hazy. But anyway, so it has a Phoenix ROM BIOS, copyright 1990, Phoenix Technologies. It has a Stingray Revision 4, VGA BIOS 3.02, Serious Logic 1990, copyright award 1984-1988. So award, I would imagine Phoenix bought them in 1989 or something, hence why the copyright stops at 88. But enough of that. So we have, I'll just go into the BIOS, which is quite interesting. It's Control Alt and Escape. And it takes you straight into the BIOS without having to run, without having to reboot and do the usual thing of pressing delete and stuff. So we have the date and time, which strangely enough, even though I've not turned this machine on for about 4 years, it has the right time, and it has, well, nearly, it's an hour out, the clock, but it has the correct, no it's not, it's the right time and date. So it's a 3.5 inch 1.44 floppy, hard disk is type 49. It did have a, I think it was a 40 megabyte IDE drive, which worked last time I used this machine, but it just knocks now, clangs about, it won't work. So I've popped out the hard drive, I've put in a CF card in there, a 512 megabyte CF, and sort of made up some numbers which allows it to run from the CF card. So that those figures there are for a 512 CF card. It won't boot from the CF, probably because it is classed as a removable media rather than fixed, I would imagine. Memory location, shadow bias, CPU speed, fast or slow. It can run in 2 speeds, this machine. Parallel serial, hard drive, power off. Okay, so we'll escape this. So we're sat at the A prompt because it's booted off a floppy, but C drive works. There's a few programs I copied over last night. I'm quite interested to show you this machine working, but first I'll do a little bit of bench testing. Oh, the space bar was damaged as well. It was flat down to the board. The springs have popped out. So I've cut 2 springs out of a cheap disposable pen. And now it's so firm I can barely press it, but it does work. So we'll run Snooper, which was my favourite benchmarking test back in the day. The keyboard works fine actually. Clearly it's not a Commodore keyboard, it works well. Well, that seems to be doing nothing. Sometimes it does seem to ignore you, this machine, for some reason. But we do have a reset button. Oh, can't read. What do you mean you can't read it? That'd be ridiculous. It could be the cylinders and all the other information I've copied over when I've made up the hard drive settings it doesn't like. I'll read. Oh, there we go. I don't suppose you can read any of that. Let me try and brighten the screen up a bit. It's a monochrome VGA display with an active matrix, which means the backlight provides the contrast, and it's horrible. It's a horrible, horrible screen. But it's a 386SX compatible. It's a 386SX at 16 MHz VGA color, ISA bus, 655 conventional memory, DOS 6.2. Oh, and it says it's a Lexar ATA flash drive. Okay, that's obviously what the CF card is. 1 hard drive, 1 floppy. Okay. So we'll press Alt E for benchmarks, and there we go. 20.9 megahertz throughput. I'm not sure if you can see that at all, really. But anyway, I did try to get VGA out of this. It has a VGA port on the back, so I could capture it in colour. But I don't know what the VGA out keys are. If anybody knows, I would be very grateful. On modern machines, you'd press a function key and an F key usually, and you get VGA out. But this is a little bit funky. This is in the dark ages of technology. So how do you quit? Escape. Would you like to print the form? Ordering information. You can have a 70-page book. No thanks. So as you can see, it has a very slow refresh rate. So anything that involves speed is awful. So it's not a games play machine, but it wasn't made for that. It is a business machine for looking at spreadsheets and don't know what else, Word documents, I suppose. Please insert Prince of Persia. Shut up. Loading. Yeah, like I said, this is a machine I've had for a number of years. It didn't work when I bought it. I don't remember what was wrong with it. I know that I hot-wired a ear jack on the side to run power to it, but I've lost that power pack over the years, whichever I used before, so I made a spare power pack up last night, cut the end off and put that. Oh, this is a pain in the neck. Why is it doing that? It started instantly yesterday. Tell you what, we'll do a reboot. Commodore 386SX. So it's going to boot from floppy drive A. It won't boot from the hard drive because the hard drive, well, it just won't. For whatever reason. It does have an interesting keyboard. It's not a layout I'm familiar with, so I'm not sure where this is from. It might be some, I don't know, Finnish country. I really don't know. We'll do another benchmark, BV38F. I think it's top bench. This is the benchmark I use on various emulators and things to see how quickly it's emulating old machines. Introduction. Benchmarking. Real time. So what does it think it is? It thinks it is a Samsung SD610, which is an Intel 286. An Intel 286 at 16 megahertz. Oh yeah. That's very odd. Why do you think it's a 286? Is it a 286, I wonder? It's a 386. It says 386 on the packet. Very strange. Anyway. It's got 27 somethings. What does that say? Score 27, mem test 455. It scores 33. Your machine measured in real time. I believe you. Not really. I think you're giving me some highly dubious information there. 286. Phone's buzzing. Microsoft. Oh, there we go. You forget how clunky and horrible DOS was. This is Flight Simulator 3, which is the first simulator I ever played in DOS, and that was also on a 38616. A long, long time ago. Doesn't seem happy, does it today? Doesn't seem happy. Oh, there we go. Flight Simulator loading. Don't remember what the keys are for a Flight Simulator, to be honest. I think it had a demo mode, didn't it? Oh, there we go, we're off. Whoa, 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 take it easy. There we go, soaring into the sky. This is obviously the future of laptops, look at that. It makes it look like a very old film. This could be a 1920s film. I don't know how people thought these were a good idea back in the 90s. I wonder if I can land. I'm going to crash into that building in a moment. In a non-IS related fashion. Anyway. I don't know how to quit this. How the hell do you quit? Well, Q turns the sound off for some reason. How do you quit the bloody thing? Control Alt Delete. That's always a good way to quit. So the machine itself is in reasonable to averagely poor condition. It's well knocked about. It has a strange coating on the plastic. It's a grey sort of like a textured finish, so it gets scratched very easily. But it does come apart very easily. Three screws at the front. The keyboard lifts out, and you've got 3 screws there, 3 screws at the back, and the whole top lifts off, revealing the motherboard inside. It's quite good actually. I've just recently bought a compact that comes apart in a very similar fashion. Not a compact, HP. Let's try Paperboy. Like I say, these machines were made for business anyway, so it's unlikely anybody will be playing Paperboy in it. But you never know. What EGA I suppose. Fortunately there's no sound in the game, which is quite nice. But if you want to buy one of these laptops for collecting purposes, I suppose, make sure you've got a power pack. It's very slow to respond. When you see stuff like this, I find it amazing that Commodore failed. If this was what competing companies were putting out as laptops, I can't imagine why Commodore found it so difficult to compete. But by this era, 99, they'd already sold the LCD screen business. I think Marshall Smith was asked to, or was told, there's no future in laptops or portable computing. That was by was that the HP guy or the Compaq guy? I don't remember now. So they sold the LCD business. Just as I think Bill Hurd had developed a Commodore laptop, and he was told, if you get so many orders for it, we'll put it in production. He got the orders for it, but it was never put into production, and the business was sold. The LCD business was sold anyway. So that is the Commodore C386SX LT. What an awful thing it is. I'm going to turn it off, I can't stand the noise. But that's it. That's the 386 LT. Horrible. Thank you very much. See you next time.
I don't want to set the world